gain 3 power. I'm gonna play Forest of Thorns. I'm gonna do some discarding.
Mhm.
And end my turn.
Lovely. I
Waiting for the thing to load.
Oh,
Okay, now go.
Hey. You there? Hey, you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. They just started the match.
Eh,
So you're more than welcome to join it if you want. But
Got you. If tabletop lets me.
yeah, so recording's already started, so people are gonna hear what we're saying, but it's fine.
Fair enough. I'm trying to remember which villains is it today.
It's OG Mal and Mother Gothel.
Ooh, that was a fun one to watch.
So, yeah, it's not too bad. We're getting a vanish and double fate.
A vanish and a double fate.
Yeah, they go to
Wait.
King Stefan.
Double. So vanish as in like
Vanish. They
they're
don't have to
trying to
move
stay in
the
it.
next turn.
Okay, so they're trying to fate the next turn as well. I haven't heard of a. I wasn't aware of Maleficent getting 2 fates out of one turn.
Well, not in the same turn, but they play vanish, and then the next turn they don't have to move. So essentially,
Yeah.
in 2 turns they can get 2 fates.
True.
Because it looks like Mother Gothel's not is not wanting to fate right now.
Ooh. I'm trying to remember who I predicted. What's the data I have on this one? It's always a little fun to see that.
I don't know why, but my lobby has script errors, which is lovely.
Oh, finally. Okay. Yeah, my table. Let's see. And how is Gothel doing on trust right now?
They are at 0. I mean, they're literally both 2 minutes into the match. So
It's MMA?
Yep. It's all caps.
Yep. Okay.
So far, there's a guards at the Briar Roses.
Okay, so you are GM. Sweet.
Yep. And now you can see all the cards.
Yeah. Might be tempted to switch my color so I can check what. Sometimes it's fun to check if there's a chance or if there's no chance. But I'll refold.
Yeah, we got the staff out.
Ooh, an early. That's a nice one to get early on, that's for sure.
And the last few fates have just been lose a trust, but they don't have any, or it's discard an item or an ally.
Okay, I'm gonna switch. Remind me, would switching my color be a problem if I switch to something so I can actually look into the discard piles?
No, you just wouldn't be able to see the actual cards that they have.
Okay. I can live with that.
Yeah. Ooh, you want to know something interesting?
What?
Maleficent has a raven in her hand.
Ooh.
And dragon form. So go into the forest, gain 3, and they're gonna spend it all. Or spend it on dragon form. Get rid of the guards. Very classic, very classic.
Indeed.
Discarded tyranny, because they only have 1.
No, the trick about Raven at this point is Prince Philip somewhere in there.
Oh, they're already out on King Stephen Castle. It's super early.
Oh wait, why is it upside down to me then? Oh, okay. Graphics issue on my end. That's why I was confused. So yeah, so that's good to know. Yeah, with that, then the Ravens technically safe.
Why'd y'all
All
stop?
right, I'm gonna move to another room here. My apologies. I've got very anxious dogs. Okay.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
We're just commentating, so we were just wondering. But cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Ugh.
They ended up pausing because Mother Gothel's dogs were having some ow complaining.
Gotcha. Very near. So from data, by the way, a very nerfus is, as far as I'm aware, this is his first competitive scene, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. At least since I've been keeping track.
I mean, so far, Nervous has been doing a good job with the consistent fates. So, and like they just put the Sword of Truth on Prince Philip. So, like as far as because in competitive, people will try to fate way more often to stop your objective. But so far, I mean, fating wise, they've done decent. It's just like the fates against them have been kind of gross, and then obviously you just use 2 royal guards to get rid of Rapunzel, so you have no allies, you have nothing on the board, so you're literally just trying to gain power and fate right now.
Let's see.
Just like
Yeah, it seems like it was a forced early Prince Philip too.
Yep, pretty much.
Yep, that
Because you have Hubert,
sucks.
yeah. Now they're
Because
playing the royal. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, it really helps out Maleficent's gameplay to know what fates are used and having specific fates out. So,
Hook hand comes out. Got to discard a random card. Now here's my question: would you have rather play? I mean, I like playing Pascal over at Rapunzel's Tower because as soon as it hits Rapunzel's Tower, it just immediately goes to Snuggly Duckling. So, I mean that's my opinion. That's what I like doing. What would you do if you had Hook hand or Pascal?
Hook hand or Pascal? Let's see. Hook discards a random card from her hand. See, I'd kind of base my decision off how many like if she had a discard a card action. Because if she had access to one and didn't discard anything or had multiple things to play, I feel it's more reason for hook hand.
No, that's very true. And plus, they have Hairbrush, which obviously, Maleficent doesn't know about. I can see it because I can see all the cards right now. But luckily for for Gothel, it was not discarded. And there it goes.
Yeah, and honestly, Pascal is a good one. Honestly, to me, the first thing is the heroes that block actions. Second, and actually, this is why I'd favor hook hand, and even in this case, is he wasn't trying to discard, and you want to block 2 actions.
Yep. And plus, you figure they're saving up at least a card or two, like Hairbrush or the Crown or something like that.
Yep.
Double curse.
Ooh, and some stronger ones too.
Now, Green Fire is such a pain in the butt.
It is an interesting one. Now, I'm curious, what are your thoughts, especially since new Mal is not in this tourney right now? What are your thoughts between the new Mal and the old Mal?
I personally like the old Mal, just because it, there's the nostalgia fact for it, but it's just interesting because on the fact of you have to have an ally out in order to play a curse for the new Mal, And there was one time I played a match and all my allies were at the bottom and I was just getting nothing but like Raven and Curse and stuff like that. So you essentially, in my opinion, for the new Mal have a little bit more luck involved, whereas the old Mal is just, it's just a pretty simple objective. So in my opinion, I like the old Mal. Now Prince John, that's different. I prefer I2E over OG Prince John.
That's fair. See, and when I looked at new Mal and that from I2E, I was like, oh, this all is like almost basically straight nerfs. Like everything they could possibly think of card-wise was nerfed.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, when I saw the objective change where it's no longer start of turn, my thoughts started turning of maybe that was their justification for all those nerfs, because when we played her in the last Battle Royale, and even competitively, she's overperformed compared to the other Maleficent.
Mm-hmm. And then
Um,
we just got a double hero. Aurora got rid of the Forest of Thorns, and now Merryweather's out.
ooh,
So
curses cannot be.
exactly. So one thing about me is Mother Gothel is in my bottom 5 of all the characters. Only for the fact because I have barely played her. And when she first came out, I thought she was great. But I just over time preferred more characters. And so she's definitely in my bottom 5. However, I played her the last couple of days, and trying to compare matchups, and I actually won more as Mother Gothel than I did as Maleficent. Maybe I got lucky.
Well, if you want the raw data, Maleficent versus Mother Gothel, Maleficent wins 53% of the time.
Yeah, that's relatively pretty close.
So, yeah, and it basically means to me that it's going to come down to basically player capability in this.
Yep, player knowledge, player capability. It's gonna determine about how much they fade. Depends on how their strategy is. So I mean, the thing with the competitive scene is you try to play normally. I can't play normally anymore. All I do is think competitive. So when I'm playing with like my nieces or my brother and sister-in-law, it's just all competitive, and I'm like I try to relax my brain, but it's just like I've done it for so long that it's hard to play. It's hard not to play competitively. So in this aspect, I do think Maleficent has the upper edge, even though it's 53-47. She does have that upper hand because Raven is pretty powerful. Sure,
Oh yeah, in
hairbrush.
this match for sure,
Oh
with
yeah.
how many strong cards she got early, the lucky fate against her that gets out
Mm-hmm. And
ally
plus,
destruction.
you definitely want to at least double or triple cap on heroes at Rapunzel's Tower because one, you lose a move action and you lose a fate action. Oh, there's Flora.
Huh, hand reveals. I'll know what's going on too now.
There you go. All right, I'm gonna pop out for
Okay.
just one moment.
Okay. So that means there's a curse at each location, and if there's no fate to remove a curse at this time, then Maleficent wins. And there is the Once Upon a Dream that's needed. And good.
I am back.
So Maleficent had WinCon up, and then good ol' what's it called? Gothel got the dream, the Once Upon a Dream.
Now, in my years of playing with Angel, Angel is actually one of the people I'd never want to go up against because they know every single character inside and out. I mean, I've known characters before, but over the years they've done strategies that I haven't seen before, and it scares the living crap out of me. So,
He's one of the top players in the server for sure.
Mhm.
In fact,
is
I
there a
have
stat on
his.
him?
Yes, I have plenty of stats on him. He's played in 2 battle royales and the Wicked League. So, and to be fair, he's probably played more, but I haven't recorded past that. I
Mhm.
have him. I actually was experimenting with a elo-like score for Villainous, and I have him at a 6.59. And to be clear, the highest is like Wacko and Zachary at about 6.9s and 6.96.
Mhm.
So
I wonder,
really good.
are they gonna use Malice to get rid of Aurora or Flora? Flora, because we already know they have a dragon form and a green fire.
True.
So, I mean, you could go. Oh, Raven. What are they gonna do with Raven? I mean, you use it to, play green fire or dragon form. Interesting. I guess
Well,
get her out.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Getting her out helps a little.
Mhm.
Because don't forget, if the fate that gets too small, suddenly he's got Dreamless Sleeps coming out every.
Yep. Now they're at WinCon again.
Indeed. And let's see, how many Dreamless Sleeps have been used? In fact, there might be all the Dreamless Sleeps in here. Sorry, Once Upon a Dream, sorry. I always say the name wrong. There's 2 of them in.
Guards and Ooh, King Stefan.
Oh.
Double
Ooh.
whammy.
Ooh.
King
Yeah, there was no
Stefan.
more.
Mhm.
See, this is where the Maleficent player really has to pay attention to what fates have happened.
Yep. I mean,
Because
go ahead.
I was gonna say, because you would, if you were keeping track of the played and unplayed, you would have known a King Stefan's coming up. You almost would have, what you can call it.
Anticipated
I
for
guess
it.
it's hard to counterplay for it though, because you know it's either like eliminate. Ugh.
And you definitely don't want to stack the curses because if you did, then let's say you had 2 green fires in one and the Forest of Thorns, then you get all 3 out in one go.
True. Granted, Forest of Thorns on a green fire
Mm-hmm.
is a lot harder to double eliminate. In fact, if he had put the green fire on the Force of Thorns, the new one, he could have only gotten rid of 1 curse.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, actually, that would have done the job, just in a unique way.
This is smart though.
Yeah.
They're gonna eliminate King Stefan, and then they're going to gain 6 power.
You mean eliminate Prince Philip?
Or Prince Philip, yeah, sorry. And then
Yes, and then
and then they're able to fate now another
indeed.
dragon form. Now this is the risky part. It's gonna be a reshuffle for a fate.
That's true, and you just put Philip back.
Mm-hmm.
He must have felt the need to get his 4th location open up again.
Yeah.
More important than waiting out the Philip.
And now there's only 2 allies. You have the Raven and then one of the dogs out there. So that second location is not necessarily scary.
Oh, so you call the minions of Maleficent dogs?
Well, I just call that one the dog.
Okay, fair enough.
I know that's not their technical term, but I mean it's a goon. I just like saying dogs.
Yeah, that's fair. To be fair, it's like the typical minions of dragons, or either like kobolds, which you also got the goblins, all of which can look like dogs, depending.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess that's true. With King Stefan out, your green fires are safe most of the time. You know, in his shoes, I'd move the green fire to a location not next to King Stefan. But
Mm-hmm.
depends. The curses are expensive.
That's one thing that Maleficent can suck at is power gain if you don't have staff out or spinning wheel.
Yeah. Luckily, because like in Maleficent's terms, one of her biggest weaknesses is she can either really focus on attack heavily or focus on development.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately,
It's either offense or
um,
defense.
yep. And then basically at that point, you're relying on your Raven to get you your in-between versatility.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Now, if you have noticed
Gothel
that
on the
they're, I was gonna mention they're both very similar in time right now. Angel's only used up about 9 minutes, while Gothel's used up about 11. So I
that's
mean,
fair.
they're both managing their time very well.
Yeah, and I agree. It's in fact usually most villains are really good with time wise. There's only one or two villains I know where time is much more costly for them.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, gotten rid of Stefan with a still to be reshuffle.
You
Man,
know,
mm,
if I was Gothel, I'd realize fading sooner might be more paramount because there's a
mm-hmm.
chance actually you don't eliminate these curses now if he gets WinCon up. Although that Maximus might make this more hard. And don't forget, Raven could be used to move one of the curses if Mao wants to move to a double play location, for example. That's one of the things about new Mao, that move action becomes so much more useful. Well, you can play guards, that's kind of nice. Actually, I would have played guards to, I won't play him I would play him to the Dark Fortress to prevent curse moving. Uh-huh. But that's a good spot too. Blocks the fate action. Yeah, after today, I'll actually be able to put a very nervous onto the scoreboard. Since I'll actually have data for him now. Fun fact, whoever wins this will be facing Prince Hans or Jafar. That's right, Maximus has 3 strength. That's a lot of strength. If we're talking in terms of overall competitive capability between Gothel and Maleficent, we have a few things of note. In direct forecasting, if you will, Maleficent generally does better against Jafar than Gothel does. And in general,
Mm-hmm.
like if we're looking like extreme future perspectiving, where like the odds of them facing particular villains, Maleficent is one of the most favored
Right.
in general. But Gothel's not too far behind, admittedly.
No, definitely
The
not.
only thing, and to be fair, the only thing that throws some of my predictions off is any of the customs.
All right, cool. Sorry, I had to jump out for a phone call real quick. But looks like Maleficent pretty much handled that one with ease. They got Gothel's top realm pretty much covered everywhere. So, looking
So
like
did our Gothel player pick, what was it?
here. Let me jump in real quick. Okay. Nervous. Make sure you also redo the timer because it's a new one.
Oh,
Click
yes.
Perfect. All right, and
Okay.
One.
I got a 4.
Then I get a.
so the loser actually gets to choose whether they go first or second.
Ah. Oh, I'll go second again.
Okay. Power and a
Okie
mulligan.
dokie.
Thank you. I reset everything. Are we good?
Are you gonna mulligan?
Oh, forgot. I'm playing in this environment.
Yep.
Thank you for reminding
A
me.
little bit different.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. Well, if
Yeah.
y'all are ready to go ahead.
Ready whenever you are.
Round 2. Alrighty, I'm back.
So it seems our good ol' a very nervous one
Yes. So in games
decided
2
to
or
go
3,
second.
correct, because the loser of the first game gets to choose whether or not they go first or
Mhm.
second. They decided to mulligan 2 cards. And that was pretty much it. Ooh, turn 1 Raven. Turn 1 Raven is actually very deadly to your opponent.
True. Now it'll be interesting if that Philip comes out again, though. But yes, this is a scenario where you probably will be focused more on fading Maleficent.
Mm-hmm. No?
No?
Are
Let's
you
see. Remember it?
are you a fan of turn 1 fates?
Am I a fan of Turn 1 Fates? It depends on the villain I'm playing against a villain I'm playing. Against Maleficent? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially as Gothel. Unless I have, for some reason, a really good playing hand as Gothel. If I'm Captain Hook, usually I find my first turn I don't fate.
Right. Obviously, like someone like Cook and um I think Lotso generally is not a good first turn fate because let's say you end up drawing the one where you have to move a hero out of the caterpillar room, or you have a hero, you get a hero, then you're essentially giving them part of a victory.
I'm actually confused with the statement on Lotso because I find with Lotso I have really big discard hands sometimes.
Well, I'm talking like
So,
in terms of like first turn fate.
but isn't his 3 power and fate spot one and the same usually? So like and also discard. So if I have a bad hand my first turn, I usually will just fate
Oh,
coincidentally
sorry.
almost.
I'm talking about against him.
Oh.
Yes, not playing as them, but no, playing as Lotso. Your first shot is really gaining the 2 and like gaining 2 and fading, or gaining 3 discarded fate. But yes, playing against Lotso, it's not necessarily in your best interest to fate, because if you draw 2 heroes, then you're essentially giving them, a fourth of the victory. And sometimes you can have a dead fate. So
It's fair. Lotso's a tricky person to fate, that's for sure.
it it is.
Then you have like So I played Mim a lot last year. That was very fun.
Mm-hmm.
And with her, it's interesting because her weakest villains are the ones that are least susceptible to their own fates.
Right. So,
So,
do you want to explain to people why Mim is currently not in the rotation?
oh, easy. Because if you play her optimally, there's very few villains that are good enough to fight her. And the few that are, I discovered some strategies that do work. Like literally, I was appalled at the bracket I ended up playing with Mim last season because literally, it was her statistically worst matchups, a bunch of them. There was only one matchup that was
Oh my
statistically
gosh.
her worst I
They
didn't
just played
face.
3-1. They moved Raven to play,
Oh my gosh, I
and
see
they
that.
can't fate. Can they?
Well, unless they have something in their hand to vanquish Hook immediately.
Like a Royal Rider, or okay, there's a Royal
Okay.
Rider. Get rid of Hook. Okay, that that was
At
only like
least,
2 minutes of the Mal's time.
okay. So he has to fate. There's no choice here.
Yeah, there's like literally no choice. All
The
right.
rapid play of Mal, a Sword of Truth or Merryweather.
Ooh.
Merryweather's
Okay.
Force Strength, that does get rid of one.
It does.
And actually helps with future ones, so.
Now, being able to seal the cards, they do not have a curse in their hand right now. They have a Banish and a Malice. Ooh.
So who went first?
So Maleficent
The
has gone first in both matches.
Okay. And the first one it was random, so
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Exactly. Which is funny because instead of doing Candyland and breaking the server or making everyone's ears go insane, we rolled a d20. Maleficent rolled a 1, and then Mother Gothel rolled a 19. So it's pretty funny. But Gothel did decide to go second for that mulligan.
Oh. Technically it was supposed to be pure random. They don't get to choose. Just for future reference.
It's the
But
it's Candyland or the highest dice roll.
yeah, but whoever wins just goes first. There's no choosing. So
Mm,
technically Mother Gothel would have been forced to play first.
gotcha.
If so, that's how we originally
Okay.
intended it when we made that rule. So,
It wasn't necessarily clearly explained, but that's okay.
okay. Oh, I'll fix something then. I think that was a commonly misremembered rule from last year too. So, gotta fix that. But it's okay. Mother Gothel got the choice both times anyway, so.
Ooh, and Rapunzel's now at Corona.
Indeed, but with zero trust, so not much of a
Yeah.
panic attack.
No. They do have no power though. And Maleficent still does not have any curses in their hand. How many do they have discarded though?
How many do they have discarded? Let's check. They have 2 discarded.
Okay, so that's
A
not too
Force of
terrible.
Thorns and a Green Fire. So they have 1 Green Fire and 3 Dream Sleeps left in the deck, or is it 2?
I think it's 2 more.
Okay.
They are double locking at Forbidden Mountains. They really don't want that move action.
Well, actually, no. That's the only place you could play the guards.
Oh, because they're not a 4-string. No, you're right.
Indeed.
Aging. Oop. Yep. They have no trust, so get rid of that brush.
Oh boy.
I mean, regardless who went first or not, it's just very clear in this aspect that Maleficent is able to pretty much bully the opponent.
Well, yeah. To be fair, part of the problem with Mother Gothel is she's a very high difficulty competitively character.
That's true. Now, if you,
Like
go ahead.
like compared to Maleficent, it's extremely high. In fact, let me look at because because of the data I'm collecting, I'm able to track
Double tyranny. Oh,
double tyranny.
and they were able to get a dreamless sleep, so that is their last one that they would need.
And they literally discard some of the ever good items as a result.
So here's the thing, though. Dreamless Sleep is a 3 power, and the Raven's already at the forest. So my guess is they're gonna go either discard. Well, the other one's a goon. So my guess is they are gonna go to either Stefan's Castle or Forbidden Mountain, gain a power. Then they're gonna go to forest so that they can play that card. Yep, gain the power. No, they're gonna decide to fate.
That's not a bad option
It's not a
because
bad option.
keeping that top action blocked for fading means he's gonna use Pascal to do it.
hmm
That makes sense.
And then they drew 2 more goons, so they've got 3 goons and a dreamless sleep.
Let's see, and then that Maleficent's discard pile.
Now they could, so Raven could also go and play a goon and then go to King Stefan Castle to get rid of the guards. That way they have that move action if needed at the top. That is another possibility. Oh,
King Stefan okay, King Stefan here you'd say for sure, right?
yeah, 100%. Yep.
Because it gets rid of 2 of his strongest curses.
Yep. Now they've only got 1 in their hand, and now there's only 8 cards left in the deck, so that's another 2 gone. So
Yeah, and he won't have the extreme powerful play card spot available, so
And one
he's
thing,
forced to
go ahead. They're forced to what?
limit their actions.
Now I will say one thing that I like about Angel is he's very quick to think on his feet. Like since 2 cards just got discarded, he pretty much knows what he's already going to be doing.
That's fair.
Get rid of that. They were going to vanquish the king and queen next turn, I believe. And that's the thing too with Mother Gothel is you don't have any power. It's not the best for you. Granted, a lot of her cards are 1. And then it moves to Snuggly Duckling. There you go.
Gotcha. Remind me, what's the brother do?
Isn't it when it's played?
When is played to Rapunzel location, you move Rapunzel to Rapunzel's tower. Yep. And then you can vanquish later to move Rapunzel back too.
Yep. Cackling
Doubly
Goon
useful.
over.
Yeah, Gothel has an extremely high skill ceiling.
And there goes Stefan.
Let's see, do I have got the schedule up? I need this one.
So we got a shorty and a hook hand. Definitely playing shorty on that one to move Mother Gothel over to Corona so they can't fate. Very smart. And you now have 2 heroes at Rapunzel's tower. So that top fate action is now locked. And they still only have 1 curse in their hand.
Luckily they bought themselves some time, but the Maleficent being able to double fate is nothing to sneeze at.
And that's why I'm saying, like, turn 1 Raven, like, you're just, like, it's so powerful.
Yeah, especially since, in this case, the Philip was not needed at the top of the deck.
Yep. So here's my question to you. Are you more in favor of a Raven or a Chariot? Because the Chariot, you actually have to use the mover with it. The Raven is essentially that and Sheriff Nottingham, right?
Well, if we're talking in terms of pure strength, the Raven, I think, wins most of the time.
100%.
In terms of removability, the Raven also wins, because there's only 1 fate card in Maleficent's fate deck that can get rid of Raven. Whereas in, what's it called? In
Hades.
Hades deck, I'm sure it's at least 2, maybe 3.
Mm-hmm.
So the chariot is just holistically worst, I feel.
Oh, and it looks like they just vanished at the forest, so they're going to be staying there this turn. They do have a Dreamless Sleep in their hand.
That's fair. Now, how you use that dreamless sleep does matter.
Correct. How would you use it? And they're
Well,
searching in their discard now. They've got 3 left, so they're searching to see how many they have.
a common way to use it is to prep to remove a hero. So you have less risk to your curses. Another way I use it is I stack it with Force of Thorns a lot, just because if they do remove something, they'll remove 1 and technically not get rid of the Dreamless Sleep. Plus, it's already ready to be removed if it's problematic to have out.
Mm-hmm. And
So,
our chameleon friend is now gone.
there's handiness to that.
Getting rid of the guards over there. And another fate. Frying pan or lose a trust. Always lose the trust. Man,
Dude,
Mother Gothel
vanishing.
is just getting torn up.
Yeah, and it's hard, unfortunately, to make too much of a judgment, because, let's see. Let me check that board again. Is there discard actions? Yeah, the only discarded a card action has usually been blocked in the Mother Gothel's gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 power one he doesn't go to a lot because it's also covered a lot. So, yeah, I'd say they're just having an extreme challenging day.
Yep. Oh, and they are discarding, so that's nice.
Good.
They've got 9 cards remaining, so Sword of Truth
And
and
see,
guards.
I'll have to admit to myself too, I'm not a Mother Gothel main for sure. Especially since there's so much to try and follow, so I think a lot of the trick is knowing what cards are inefficient and what things you need to just go for.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Honestly, I'd have to look at videos from last year to figure out how that Mother Gothel player played so well. So I'm pretty sure they beat Maleficent last year.
And there is WinCon, and honestly, that is the game, I believe.
No? Let's see. That's right, because that's double blocked right now.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow. And there's nothing I'm aware of that gives Mother Gothel 8 trust in
Mm-mm.
1 round.
That is game.
Aim.
Look at that. That was 2 extremely fast matches. I mean, that was probably like 15 minutes combined for Gothel. But
Mm-hmm.
alright, I'm gonna pop in over there real quick.
Much. That I had a great time.
Okie dokie, congrats to Maleficent who won twice. Good games. Infinity, did you have anything you wanted to say?
No, well, actually, correction. It was interesting because in both instances, I feel like the Raven came out early
Mm-hmm.
and avoided Prince Philip both times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was tragic for my end.
Just a little bit, but I mean, you still at least put up a good fight. So
Yeah, thank you. I felt like I over focused on fading a little bit, especially in that second game. I genuinely had a moment where I was like, "Oh wait, I haven't even looked at Rapunzel for the last like 5 turns.
Well, I mean, you did keep the fate
Mm.
pressure on both games, so I mean that was good. You were able to
Yeah.
get 2 curses gone a couple of times, but
Yeah.
dang, OG Maleficent is sometimes superior, and turn
She
1
is
Raven is
terrifying.
powerful.
I can never
Mm.
figure out how to deal with her. She's real fun to go against.
Especially
Well,
with
thank
Angel,
you.
who plays every character well. So
Mhm.
Thanks. And I just want to
Sure.
say that your egomania kind of killed your chance at a fate.
Yeah, that was a mistake on my part.
I didn't mention it.
Conditions are difficult for me.
I didn't mention it, but when you played it, I was just like, oh, that's a bad idea.
That's game. Yeah.
Because I mean,
I
you could have easily gone to Rapunzel's tower, vanquished Shorty, and then faded.
Taking out Shorty, and then I could have. Yeah.
in both
Yeah.
of these would have hurted.
Not my proudest moment.
Alrighty, y'all. Congrats, and we'll see you later.